Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Jack, Conrad, 45. The Champions League is back.
Oh, yes.
Knockout rounds starting this week with some really, really good-looking fixtures that we actually know some things about. Barcelona and PSG. What a first matchup.
Yeah.
First time these two teams have played since La Remontada in 2017 at the new camp. A lot has changed since then. PSG coming off an appearance in the final, the 1-0 loss to Bayern. Bayern also the ones who knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League last year with the 8-2 thumping. They only did the single matches in those coming back from COVID-19 situation. But looking at league form, PSG 4-5, they've won, point behind Lille at the top of the table. Barca have won their last 5, and they are now third, 8 points behind Atletico Madrid in first. European, these two match fixtures are completely different affairs. Both these clubs very experienced there. But Koeman looks like he's figured some things out. And PSG, no Neymar, no Di Maria.
Woof.
That's not good.
Those are big losses. I think everything in the build-up, had you not said what you just said, I mean, I knew it, obviously. Yeah. I would have said PSG, I think, pretty easily. But no Neymar, no Di Maria is a big deal. Mbappe's a great player. But he's not a creator in the same sense that Neymar and Di Maria are. And I think not that he relies on it, he's a great player in many regards, but he feeds off of them, they feed off of him. And losing those two is going to change their play style a lot, which will make them less penetrative against a very, very poor Barcelona defense. They're still in need of a lot of defensive remakes, still the remnants of an older side that used to be great in the mid-2010s, earlier than that. I think Busquets, Piqué,
Piqué looking to come back for PSG in this.
And I think this is going to be a very interesting one because it's Messi, obviously, and he hasn't had. I think
who is rumored to go to
PSG. That would be actually kind of fascinating, seeing a front four of Messi, Neymar, Di Maria, Mbappe. That would be phenomenal. But then you just wonder.
I don't think they keep Mbappe in that situation.
How much money are you spending?
I think they got
to
ship one of them.
Yeah, that's another discussion for another day. Would you sell Mbappe, who's what, 22, 23, 24?
I would not do that.
For Messi, who's near on 34?
No, I would not do that.
He's a bigger player. He's a better player. Maybe than Mbappe will ever be.
You got him for a year or two.
But you get him for about maybe like 2 to 3 years. Anyways, we're getting away from the point. Barcelona have him right now. I actually expect Messi to have some superhuman performances in these two legs. And PSG, I think, they've really benefited from the single elimination format that there was in the last few matches last season, beating Leipzig. After they beat, was it Atletico? No, it wasn't.
No, I don't recall. Atletico after they.
Atletico lost to Leipzig. PSG. No, I'm spacing who it was. We're exposing our lack of European knowledge here. I think I favor Barcelona here.
I think I'll take PSG just to be on the other side of it. I think they'll have just enough to figure it out. Loud noises from a room, not this one. All right, next up, Leipzig and Liverpool. So the big news around Leipzig is Upamecano going to Bayern next year. A defender that Liverpool was rumored to be interested in. He could be really, I think, one of the differences in this match against Liverpool. This is a neutral venue in Budapest. Interesting. I think both legs are going to be played there.
I think so, yeah.
They've conceded the fewest goals in the Bundesliga right now, while they've been really leaky at the back, all the injury problems. They're the team with the more experience and recent success. The Champions League win in 2019, but it's hard to see them get a win in this away leg, given the struggles that they've had. But Leipzig don't score at the clip that Liverpool do. They do still score a lot, Liverpool, but they're very, very balanced. They got 5 guys leading the club with 4 goals each.
Yeah.
Goals from the midfield, goals from everywhere.
Yeah, they have a very different style than Liverpool, where they get 17 from Salah in the Premier League, 23 in all competitions from him. They rely incredibly heavily on his influence versus
front three as a whole.
Leipzig. They have an incredible ability to just get goals from everywhere. Their actual leading assister is Angelino with 9 assists from left back, and he's their second leading goal scorer with 8 goals. So it's very interesting who you would take in a combined 11, him or Andrew Robertson, because I said Andrew. Saying Andrew Robertson just kind of sounds a little weird. It's Andy Robertson is what it should be. But I think that ultimately this is going to come down to, I think, how solid could Liverpool be at the back in terms of Leipzig's attack is good, but it's not where it's going to have the star power. So I think this is a good matchup for Liverpool, actually.
But they're just so distributed, you don't know who to mark.
I think Kabak, actually, he was a bit shaky in his – I wouldn't say he was shaky. He was good in his debut until he got clattered by Alisson when he came 60 yards out of his goal for no reason. Not having to face someone with the pace of Vardy or Barnes and a more even split of talent across the board will be better because Liverpool can focus on their defensive structure as a whole and not worry about individual star power as much as they would have to against other sides. I think Liverpool actually favor them in this because – I mean, the fans wouldn't have made an impact if it was in Germany and in England. But I just feel like this is going to be a chance for Liverpool that their press conferences and their reaction to the loss to Leicester, I think they felt different because
3 in a row.
Mo Salah put out a tweet that's saying, like, this is not good enough. I mean, Henderson was saying it. Klopp, there were rumors that he was going to leave. He was going to resign. And he had to come out and say, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving." I think this is a statement. Win in the first leg, and I think then it's just finishing the business in the second leg. I favor Liverpool.
I think it's a first leg. I do think that Liverpool will come away with it in the end. I think the first leg is probably a draw. Just these clubs feel one another out, and then maybe Liverpool can figure some stuff out over the next 2 weeks before the reverse.
Congratulations, Leipzig! You just went through to the last 8.
Porto and Juventus. Porto currently second in Portugal, 10 points behind Sporting. They've won 2, drawn 3 in their last 5. Juventus, meanwhile, 4th in Serie A. So both these clubs underperforming, where you would think they'd be based on their performance last season. But they're 8 points off the top, 3 wins, 2 draws over their last 5. So Porto, second in their group stage behind City. Because both those clubs feasted on Olympiacos and Marseille. I think they both had 3 points each in their group stage. Juve were tied with Barca on points, but they topped the table due to the head-to-head goals. They scored 3 in their win, so 3-0 for Juve and a 2-0 for Barca.
Sounds right.
Both home and home there. And Porto did get a home draw against City in that group, but that was a very different City side. So, we're trying to figure out, all right, Porto love to play giant killers in these types of competitions, but Juventus, they should have too much, but is Porto, maybe they get the draw at home, but is Pirlo really the guy for Juventus, given where they're sitting in the...
No. He reminds me a lot of Lampard in that legend of the game. Is he legend of Juventus? I think he is. Probably.
He's an Italian legend.
He's an Italian footballing legend. And he's one of the best tactical minds of the game in terms of being a player. But as we've seen with Lampard, we love to harken back to our Premier League knowledge, is that it's a different game, having to tell players what to do rather than just kind of doing it yourself and doing it by example. So I think I'm less optimistic than you are. I think there's a very good chance that Porto could snatch this. I don't want to say very good chance. I just think that there is
Ronaldo on your side.
You do have Ronaldo, but they did lose to Lyon last season, and this is not too dissimilar to that in my eyes. That
they've really choked a lot in Europe over the years.
I think you need to get over this first hurdle because you haven't won a Champions League in however many years. I forget how many years it's been for Juventus since they won the last Champions League last.
It's been a long time.
You need to start getting back to this level, especially in the last year or two you have Ronaldo. You need to take advantage of that. I am going to take Porto to go through on like 3-2 aggregate or something, like a 2-1 win at home and then a 1-1 draw back in Turin, if it happens in Turin.
95-96, last time you had this one.
Yeah, long time.
Oof. I
am not optimistic about this call, but sometimes you have to just put it all on the line. Actually, you know what? For the Twitter clip, I'm going to clip out that entire uncertain part. This is going to be easy for Porto. I think they're going to dismantle Juventus, and they're going to head through to the last.
Well, they get up for these types of matches. It would not surprise me. I think Juventus have too much quality. I do think it comes down to whether Pirlo can figure it out.
Yeah.
Last up in the first week of the return of the Champions League, Sevilla and Borussia Dortmund. Sevilla sit 4th in La Liga, 5 in a row. If you look at the top 5 teams in La Liga right now, they've all won just about everything over their last 5. I think there's like one draw of those top 4 clubs. It's crazy. But they finished second to Chelsea in Group E. Sevilla did. Dortmund 6th, 16 points off of Bayern in the Bundesliga. Bayern are scoring at a ridiculous clip right now. But they did top Group F, dispatching Lazio and Bruges. They're not in great form. Just 1 win in 5, 3 losses and a draw alongside there. But Erling Haaland is obviously amazing, right? He's 3rd in the league in scoring, 15 goals. He's really a bright spot. Obviously, Sancho is very, very good. But when those two guys aren't playing well, Dortmund they don't do it. I mean, they're in 6th place right now.
Yeah.
They've exited both in the last 2 years in this round of 16. And for a team that's really leaking confidence, I'm not very optimistic. And Sevilla are just really good.
Yeah.
They're very good in Europe. Obviously, they've won the Europa League last year and repeatedly over the years. This is Sevilla. Head coaching change maybe at Bayern, or excuse me, at Dortmund, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, Marco Rose earlier today announcing that, not him personally, but announcing that he's going to be the next head coach at the end of the season from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Interesting hire, because they need to get more out of their young talent. Erling Haaland, 3rd in the league, as you mentioned, in scoring, joint top in the Champions League in terms of scoring. He loves the Champions League. I believe that was where he kind of made his mark at Salzburg.
Absolutely. It was last year. Ridiculous.
And he's kind of said, he made his name on the scene against Liverpool in that group stage last Champions League campaign. I think Sevilla are very good. They have a very good system.
Close.
You don't think it's going to be close?
I don't think it's going to be close.
You think Sevilla are going to walk
it? Yeah.
I think Dortmund take it. I think Haaland has a star quality that Sevilla do not have. I think he's going to score some goals. And I think this is going to be the beginning of his, story. When you talk about Erling Haaland, when I'm 35 years old and he's retired, I'm like, do you remember when Erling Haaland?
35. That's what you're going to sound like.
Something like that, 35. But Erling Haaland, I think this is going to be one of his biggest in terms of team, carrying the team. I think this is his next step in his progression in his career because there's a lot of links to him going elsewhere in the summer. And I think the best way for him to either leave the club on a positive note or to make the name, make it known that I'm ready to go be the guy at a big club.
He's only here. This is his first year.
It's a year and a half that he's been there now. Or it has been a year since he's been there. Yeah. It'll be a year and a half in the summer. I take Dortmund, but I definitely can see Sevilla. They're a very good system. They're a better team than Dortmund.
They're overall.
But I just think that Dortmund might just have what it takes in the Champions League.
Spots
and honestly, maybe it's not so much of a meme. Maybe it's the Champions League just does not. They have a bit of an allergy to the Champions League. Sevilla do.
Oh yeah.
And they just like the Europa League more. I mean, they can't go to the Europa League now. They can't just knock on the door and be like, "Hey, can we join you guys?"
No, they're done. They're done.
They're done.
That opportunity is missed.
But I don't know. I think that it's going to be close. I think actually my star power of Barcelona PSG. This is going to be one of the best matchups in terms of what to expect. But these are 4 great first legs, and this could actually be a really great Champions League knockout stage. So I'm very excited for it.
Good first 4 matches. Jack, Conrad, 45. Taking a look at those first 4 matches, the return of the Champions League. Please do comment. Let us know what you think. Subscribe. Look for us on the Twitter at the 45. Take care now.